Yo, alright. Green Bay faithful, talking with me on a chase to a Super Bowl. Fans still suck, let me let you know. We're the kids, bringing trophies home. Cheeseheads, me living this. Victory tastes sweeter than licorice. Got that Lamborghini spirit. Opponents just fear it. Y'all can hear it now.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Ramage Show. And this is Matt Ramage and Jimmy. We're going to be talking about some Green Bay Packers stuff. We have some fun little topics. And obviously, as always, if you're watching live, hammer the comments. We're going to get those in as well. But before we get into this, before we start talking to Jimmy, big shout out to sponsor of the show, Quick Trip and Nicolay Law. All right, Quick Trip, you know, you're heading out to the game, and, you know, I say the same thing. I should try to mix it up a little bit. But I do think that if you're coming to a game, Quick Trip is the spot. They got the beer. They got the cheese curds. They got everything that you need to tailgate. What if it's a party this summer, if it's a barbecue, whatnot, Quick Trip has it. And if you're traveling, you need a clean bathroom. You know, you don't want to catch, you know, anything. You know, you want to go. You don't want to find yourself in like a BP or something. You know what I mean? And having to sit out.
Yo, Speedway's over here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Bad things are going to happen for you. But so big shout out to Quick Trip being a fantastic sponsor. And Nicolay Law, if you get injured in an accident, they're going to take care of you. Insurance companies are going to try to be sketchy if you're missing work and whatnot. You need someone to have your back, and Nicolay Law is those people. They're good people over there. Did you see that that meme I posted today for Nicolay Law?
I did not.
Well, I'm glad that you watch my social media. You know what I mean?
That's on me. That's on me. I was working and then went to an art show for my 6-year-old.
Yeah. How did that go?
It was good. I kept a straight face and said, "Wow, you are very talented." And in my head, I thought, "She got this from me. She sucks." No, it was good. It was good. It was fun. They made trading cards, so I have some new trading cards that she made, so it was good. I can't complain.
Yeah, maybe you just don't understand art.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? If you're not an artist, you don't understand art. You should ask your tattoo tattooist, if that's what they're called, about it, because they're artists. They might understand the art a little bit better.
I will next time I talk to Jonas, I will show him all the pictures and say, "Hey, what do you think?"
And one of them you get tattooed on you.
All right, I'll send you options, and you let me know which one.
Dude, that would actually be sick.
Yeah,
you have and even if there's not one you like right now, just like keep drawing. You know what I mean? And maybe you could find some, because I think that'd be awesome to have like your kids like art from when they were six, like on you forever. That'd be a sick tattoo.
That would actually be pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I'm just full of good ideas. I wouldn't do it because my kids sucked. I didn't want to put them on the refrigerator. My kids were little. I was like, no, we got company coming.
That's
I don't
what
want
I said.
them to know you have
That's
no
what I said to Des on the way home. I looked at her, I was like, none of these are going up, right? Like, trying to be, because I knew she'd get mad. And I was like, I'm just kidding. We'll put it up.
No, yeah, you got it. Yeah, you have to show me those that art. We're gonna get one.
All right, deal.
Like, I don't know if you have any blank canvases on you anymore. It seems like you're filling up.
Yeah,
you might have to put it right in your forehead.
My legs are good. Chest's good. We got spots. We'll put it somewhere. I'll put it right on my stomach like Tupac, Thug Life.
Yeah, and it could be, dad life. Dad life with that art underneath. Anyways, we're going to talk about some Green Bay Packers stuff. We got some stuff. I actually do one thing that I think is funny, because sometimes I have a problem like thinking of like ideas to talk about, like actual like good topics people want to hear about. So I asked ChatGPT, and it actually gives me some like decent ideas, and some of like are goofy and fun, and that's what I like. But we're gonna talk about some stuff. But some stuff I don't have, and I just like kind of was like scrolling social media. Mercedes Lewis, he talked to Kay Adams, right? First of all, shout out to Kay Adams. I think she's so good at what she does. I think she is the best, like on the national networks interviewing people. But maybe because I'm a Packer fan, and she always like interviews like Packers or like past Packers, and she's always trying to help the Packers. She's trying to get Devontae back and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But Mercedes Lewis, he was saying that he FaceTimes with LaFleur all the time. Yeah, and they're friends. I guess they're like good buds, and they're talking about maybe he'll come back to Green Bay. Like, what are your thoughts? Because we have tight ends, right?
Yeah.
I don't, but No, but we
Yeah,
got two stud tight ends, Musgrave and Kraft. A lot of people, talking about Kraft's going to be that dude this year. So would Mercedes Lewis fit? And would you be open to having him join? Because obviously he's a great leader.
yes.
What are you thinking?
For him, being that third tight end spot right now, last year, what do we have? Fitzpatrick, something like that at the third tight end. It's a spot that is not utilized that much. It's a player that won't play, but with Mercedes being 41, like that makes sense. He is an old head having that veteran presence. And obviously he's not a wide receiver, but just having somewhere too, because our wide receiver room, besides Mecole Hardman, who is a maybe for the team, the oldest veteran's year 3. So it's like, it wouldn't be bad to have someone in there to kind of be that stabilizing force like we have on the defensive side of the ball, which is like the OGs of the unit. But I don't know. For him, I selfishly want him back on the team because I love Big Dog and it would be awesome. And one thing that would be great just for me personally is you bring him back and those Tucker Crafts 4th and 1 QB sneak, put Big Dog. Those 4th and goal QB sneaks, put Big Dog. Put him at fullback. I don't care. Just let him do some weird stuff, random plays here and there, just get him in the end zone. I would personally love. Does it make sense for the team? Not really. In my selfish ways, do I care? No, because I would love to see him back in the green and gold. And like he said too, he didn't want to leave in the first place. And I'm with Iowa Joe. A rare time we agree. I would love Big Dog on the team. It doesn't make the most sense, but sometimes you just got to do things that are fun. And having Big Dog back would definitely be fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic, and like he's a good leader. So like I feel like Tucker Kraft and Musgrave would benefit like hugely from having him there. But like you talk about him doing like the Tucker Kraft like tush push or whatever, like the Packers version of it, whatever it is. Dude, he's 41 years old. I'm not sure you want to like to start.
He'll
like,
figure
just,
it out.
Like, he'll figure it out. I mean, he's a big dude. That's why they call him Big Dog. But no, I think it'd absolutely be great. But I just think I don't think it would either to like take away too much from Tucker Kraft because there are different types of, especially Mercedes. I think any roster he's on, I feel like that team is better just from a leadership standpoint. And if he wants to coach after he's done, he's obviously going to be able to do that. Most people at his age are already doing it if they want to.
Yeah.
Like I'm 45 years old. And I remember like back in the day, I used to think about, if I was still playing, I'd be an old running back. And then, as I got older and older, and then I was like, no one's in the league playing at my age anymore. But Big Dog's 41, so I feel like I'm still kind of in the game a little bit. Where I'm like, I'm only 4 years older than him. It's someone that's still playing. If he plays this year, hopefully he does.
So you could maybe be tight end.
Probably. I mean, that's just the science of it.
4th and goal situation, Matt Ramage,
dude. That old question. 4th and 1. You need 1 yard.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could get the ball? They hand it off to you. Maybe even tush push, like any play, and no matter what it is, running play. Do you think you can get it?
I could get the ball, not the yard. I'll get the ball before I get hit for sure. That yard's not happening.
Dude, I always think it's funny because whenever someone presents that question, they always say it's 4th and 1. Like, no. Give me 2nd and 1. All right, then maybe I have a chance.
Low pressure, dude.
4 wide receivers set. They think you're throwing that thing. You put in the scrub running back, and he can fall forward for a yard. 4th and 1, they coming. You put me back there. First of all, I'm not even getting to the line of scrimmage. I'll probably trip. I'll fall. I would just lay down maybe. Just throw the ball. Yeah. Just like, don't hit me.
Just chuck it. Like, nope.
Yeah. There's no chance that I would ever be able to get a yard in the NFL. Even if it was wide open, just the fear of, Rashawn Gary type people on the other side of the field that are just going to come rip your head off. I don't need that in my life. I'm barely alive, dude.
I'm just
I get winded like climbing into my truck. I get in my truck and like,
dude, there's sometimes you do like a daily task and you like pause for your second. Like, why am I out of breath? I opened the fridge and grabbed food. What is going on?
I was saying that. I come in the house, I cut the grass, and my son was like, dude, what's up? Why you all winded? Like, I just cut the grass. He's like, doesn't it like move on its own? Like, what do you just follow the thing? What are you doing? Like, you're not Charles Ingalls over here. You're not pulling bulls or whatever. You know what I mean? It's you hold a button and you just walk. I have electric, it goes whatever speed you want. You just walk with it. But I come in the house like, woof, that's winded.
All
That's
right,
not even counting the weed whacking.
I have a question for you based on this, and we just did it. Shameless plug. Pack a Day episode tomorrow.
Yeah, pack it in, baby.
Me, Aaron, and Jen. But based on this of Big Dog, the thoughts of him joining the team, what's one former Packer? And you can pick one that's playing right now. You can pick one in the past. What one former Packer would you bring back to the team right now?
Dude, that's a good question. I made a post about this asking people. I think the only right answer is Reggie White. Like on this roster right now, because like a pass rush is what they need. They got the 4-3. I feel like he's like the most need. I've seen people saying like Aaron Rodgers like in his prime. I get that because Aaron Rodgers in his prime is so good, but we have our quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he's Aaron Rodgers 2011, but I'm saying what they need. I feel like if they had a pass rush like Reggie White, like a top notch, like will kill you and no one's gonna stop you, this team would be unstoppable. So I think Reggie White has to be that guy, and I think a lot of people that I saw pick that, but I saw people talking about like Greg Jennings. Like I was like, I get it because a lot of people who are answering, they're just trying to think. I mean, obviously Greg Jennings at his peak in Green Bay was good, but I think Reggie White has to be it because he just ruined offensive linemen, and that's what we need right now. We need people to get after quarterback, put fear in quarterback, and have the team game plan for this guy. Like, hey, this guy is a menace. We have to know where he is at all times. I mean, you kind of did. Reggie White wasn't like he was running around, but they knew where he was. But you had to prepare for him. You had to have a plan for him. And if you didn't, even if you did, you weren't going to have a good day. So I think Reggie White. But who did you say? Who do you got?
Yeah. So for mine, I went with. So thinking about it, I didn't want to pick one of like the top guys because if I did, Reggie White, obviously. Number one, like him on any. I don't even care if we have top 5 edge rushers or DMs. It doesn't even matter. Yeah, like he's still the pick. I don't care who we have on the outs. Like it's Reggie White. Charles Woodson would have been another one, but I try to go with just kind of. He was a good player on the team, a Pro Bowler, but like a Mike Daniels on this defense would be super fun. Pair him again with the Kenny Clark. Our defense, now that Quay Walker isn't as crazy as he was his rookie year, like we're really missing that just psychopath. And I say it all the time, like your defense needs at least one, preferably 2, one on the D line, one in the secondary psychopath of just like, is going to punch you in the mouth every single play, just be dirty and physical. And Mike Daniels, like he was a dog and he'd be fun. Just put on there, see what it can open up on the outside. Maybe we'll release Kenny Clark a little bit in there as well. But Mike Daniels is one, and I have a soft spot for him. I was so bummed when he got released years ago, but he'd be a fun addition to the team. And then I was thinking on the offensive side, if we go to star players, like it doesn't even matter fit. I'm not even thinking about that right now, but just Donald Driver was always so fun to watch. Just one of the best smiles on any human I've ever seen, but he just always had so much fun playing the game. And was fun to watch. So he would be on the offensive side of the ball just to get him in there. You can name so many. Bringing back Josh Sitton, put him back on the offensive line, being kind of that enforcer. There's so many players you could pick, which again is why the Packers are the best and every other team sucks. But
yeah, I think offensively, I would say, I guess someone said here, Sterling Sharp. Even though I think the Packers wide receiver group is, they got the rookie, they got some guys, but obviously no one's Sterling Sharp. Sharp prime, Sterling Sharp, I think would be. I mean, but you could, like you said, you could say so many people, and it depends how far back you want to go. You want to bring Paul Hornung on this thing?
Yeah. What about just like a fun John Kuhn, just having a fullback again, just leading the way for Josh Jacobs? Like I don't know, it's just like those. Oh, so Kevin just put it in there too. John Kuhn, same brain, dude. That'd be fun.
And
just to bring it in
right here, Chuck Cecil. Special teams, Desmond Howard, offense, John Kuhn. Yeah, I like that. Chuck Cecil was an absolute beast. Like I was young at that point, so I don't know. You're gonna have memory of like really watching him. I have more memory of playing with him on Tecmo Bowl. Yeah, and like him just like spearing everyone he tackled on that game. But he was an absolute beast. Like every picture you see of him, he's all bloody. Like he was out there just murdering people. But Desmond Howard and special teams, like for sure.
Yeah, my dad right now would 100% shout out Big Jim. He has his jersey, but I think it's Chris Martin, 94, the one that slammed Jim McMahon, the Bears quarterback, way beyond the play. I know he'd bring him back. But talk about psychopaths. Let's get him in, slam Caleb Williams down, see what happens. Just players like that. I know that would be his pick, but there's so many different people you could bring in.
Oh yeah, and like I wonder like what happened to him after he slammed McMahon. Was his career over? Yeah, did he do anything after that, or was that like because that was I think even at the time it was like frowned upon. Like even back then it was more like
even when it was
like like that was horrible. That was like
because he bad, dude. That was
he messed up.
Dominican Sue level.
Yeah, Jim McMahon he still talks about that because that like ended his run. Like that really damaged him. But yeah, that was such a bad. That was like one of the worst like late hits ever. I remember posting on Facebook years ago, like when I first started, and people were like mad. They're like, "Oh, you think it's funny?" Like, no, I just posted it because it's. And they're like, "Oh, Packer fans are the worst." I was like, I wasn't celebrating. I'm just saying, hey, this happened. Look at this thing. And there was videos of Walter Payton. I remember, back in those days, the rivalry was crazy. There was a play. Walter Payton was run out of bounds. And I think he pushed a defender like over like the bench, or it might have been the other way around. They might have done him, and maybe Packers were dirty back then. I
don't know. No, we're clean.
No, it might have been, but I mean they were losing a lot. The Bears were good at the time, so and we got some more over here. I want to get to these. Ryan Grant, he's a beach running back. But I feel like the Packers have a good running back right now. But but I ain't gonna fault anyone, especially like on offense. Like there's so many people to pick, Ryan Grant, Amon Green, those are all good. Eddie Lacy, prime Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
He was so crazy to watch.
Piper put one in there too. This was actually one of the picks on the Pack a Day episode tomorrow. Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews.
Bring him in. He could play a little bit of the middle linebacker. We've seen that. Yeah. Bring him in at the edge sometimes, see what happens. He'd be fun. But what about I feel like I'm stealing your job right now, but
no, get after it. You're better at it.
No, not at all. I am slow. Brad. I'm not going to say your last name, Brad, because I will butcher it. Brumier. He put, what's your top five? Yeah, top 5 wide receivers for the Packers.
All time top 5.
That's for me. Like I am the first one to admit, historically, I am dumb. I'm not one to look into the past. I can tell you from my own visual what I like. I know there's some in the past that probably better than the people I like. But what for you though? Like, what are some of your top 5? You don't have to give all 5, but if you want to give some of your top people, like what?
Yeah, my top people. Like I'm gonna leave out like the classic guys because those guys I like, but I never watched them play. And there's it's such a long time ago, but like Max McGee, he deserves props, and Hornung, he played like every position. But I think for me, and I'm horrible at lists. Let me just say that because I forget people. When I make a list, even when I plan it, I'm like, oh, they're gonna make fun of me for this. But I'll say number 1, Sterling Sharp. For me, he's probably the greatest wide receiver in Packers history. Then, dude, I mean, I don't know, like in order, like Devontae Adams, you got to have him up there. I think James Lofton, even though he was a guy that I didn't really watch because I was a little kid in the 80s, but people, a lot of people like him. I know that he was that dude. I mean, I don't know. Jordy Nelson, but I don't know. I feel like there's so many that I'm probably missing. But Donald Driver. I think Donald Driver is more important than just his talent. Because I feel like Donald Driver, all those James Jones, like that whole wide receiver group that was coming up, Donald Driver was like the older guy, and like they didn't go down, right? That was their whole thing, yards after catch. And I feel like he is the one that instilled all that. So like I feel like he like started the whole. He kind of trained him, and then the guys under him trained the next guys. But so I don't know how many I said there. But yeah, I would say Sterling Sharp, Devontae Adams, Donald Driver. I'm missing someone. I know that there's someone else, even from the 90s. Who are some 90s wide receivers? Name some.
I was 7 when the 90s ended.
I'll bring some comments up here so we can get them involved. Sharp, Jesse Huber says Sharp, Jordy, Driver, Freeman, Devontae, Hudson, too far back. Yeah, I agree with that list. I was starting to question myself. Freeman was a beast back in the day. What about Robert Ferguson?
I was about to say.
I loved that dude back in the day.
Yeah, same.
I wouldn't put him on that list or whatever, but honorable mention. He was fun to watch. I don't know why. I always liked him. But Iowa Joe says Don Hudson, James Lofton, Sterling Sharp, Donald Driver, Devontae. Bro, Iowa Joe. So when I was talking, he must have been like, this guy's a genius.
He's so smart. Smart.
We're going to get to one more, and then I'm going to get to yours.
Yeah.
Kevin says, Don Hudson, Sterling Sharp, James Lofton, Von and Donald Driver. So I think we all kind of have the same thought, but does Jimmy?
Again, even for me, like Sterling Sharp, he retired in 94. I was maybe 1, depending on the time.
Right,
I was born in 93.
Dude, what are you legally allowed to drink?
I don't tell the cops. So for him too, like I've seen highlights, I've seen the stats, not someone I got to witness, but Antonio Freeman was the first Packer wide receiver that I fell in love with there. I guess you could say, like, he was the guy for me for a while. Donald Driver was another one. Greg Jennings, I think, gets so much crap for how he went to the Vikings and then he went to the or whatever order it did. He was on the Vikings, the Dolphins. When he left the team, his riff with Aaron Rodgers, Greg Jennings was so good. But for me, Donald Driver was always the top one, funnest to watch. I loved watching him play. Jennings, Jordan Nelson, you got to put Devontae Adams in it, but Freeman and then Robert Ferguson too. I'll never forget the play. What was it against the Jaguars where he just got clotheslined? He might have got taken on a stretcher, so it's not that funny, but I still remember that play. Dude got decked. I remember loving Javon Walker and thinking he was going to be just the next big dog, and then he went to the Raiders. But there's so many different receivers that were fun to watch for a time. But yeah,
and Billy Schrader. Gotta show love to
Billy Schrader, the original Jordy Nelson, dude.
Dude, I love Billy Schrader. Like, he would always get those sideline catches. Like, it was just like perfect. And like I always tell the story. I might have told it to you before, but I was at a basketball tournament like for my kids, and I was in a group with all the dads and stuff, and a lot of them are coaches, like they know what they're doing. And Billy Schrader was there, for I assume his kid or whatever, and they seen him like, oh, that's Billy Schrader. You remember that in 1994? They started talking about this playoff game, and they were like, no, I don't think that's it. And they like talking, go back and forth, and they're arguing, and then Billy Schrader just walks right by us, so they stop him. Like, hey, Billy. And it's like, hey, 1994, and this game, we're arguing about this. And then he just stops and tells the story. He's like, all right, listen to this. He's like, it's 3rd down and 10. Holmgren says that. And he's telling this story. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was just sitting there like, that was the first time I was actually listening to like a player tell a story. And I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. And he was telling like Holmgren was like, yelling at him and like, do this, make sure you go out of bounds, up the clock, whatever it was, and like he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but it all worked out. So Holmgren was yelling at him, but he was like, it worked out though, and he's just like, all right. And it was like the coolest thing. I was not confident enough at that time to like ask a player a question. Like, they just stopped him. They're like, hey, come on, we got a bet going. And but he was awesome, and he was fun to watch back in the day. But I want to get to this one. We got to. Oh, all right here. This is the comment right here. Is it CJC? All right, here we go. The top 5. I can't see. My screen is small right here. The top 5 Green Bay Packers wide receivers of the 1990s in no particular order are 1, Sterling Sharp, 2, Robert Brooks, 3, Antonio Freeman, 4, James Lofton, 5, Don Hudson. I don't think that Hudson was in the 90s, but I get what you're saying there. Yeah. I mean, I think like. It all depends on how far you want to go back. Because like Hudson, I think you have to have on that. But none of us seen him play, but he deserves his props. Yeah. No, I think he doesn't get it enough. People forget, like, even in NFL, when they're making their lists of like top players, and he had records like forever. Yeah. And they kind of just disrespected him. All right, so let's get to comments right here. Billy Schrader, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, South High alum. Dude, I want to get him on my podcast. I think that'd be like a cool person to have on the podcast. Anyone know Billy Schrader? Ask him if he wants to do a below average podcast with a drunk guy. Hit me up.
Just so you know, I'm going to somehow hack into your system and pop up. Be like, hey, you weren't expecting this, but here I am.
No, I'll bring you too. We got to have like one of us got to be like really blacked out. But all right, so all right, so we got the OTAs are happening right now there, Jimmy.
Yes.
What do you think about OTAs? Do you take anything from OTAs?
I don't take anything serious until pads are on, honestly. I think it's nice to get the guys together, let them get some reps. Even that, like, the Andy Herman was putting out the 2-minute drill and the offense did well. The offense always does well until you start putting shoulder pads on the defense so they can pop you a little bit. I don't know. It's something. It's nice content wise and just even fan wise to like see the team together and play. But all those passes, someone put today, like Jordan Love looking so good. This was a prime Rodgers throw. It's like he is doing a basic warm up throw down the field. Like, let's calm down. I love Jordan Love. I think he's good, but let's not get crazy about an MVP season when he's throwing. It's pretty much like a college pro day where they're just throwing on air without any pressure. I don't know. It's fun to watch. It just means football's getting closer, but I don't know. I don't put too much on it. Like even with like Elton Jenkins not being there because of contract stuff and all of that, like it is what it is. I think Nagler put it out too. Like, let's wait till we get to mandatory minicamp before we start complaining about things of players not showing up. So it's nice to see. I like seeing the clips. I think it's good to get the guys together, but I don't know. It's not even a real practice yet in my mind. It's just letting people learn and get close with each other, more team bonding than anything.
Yeah, I agree. I never put any stock into like OTAs, and I get like the smart people are going to talk about it, they're going to break it down, and they'll do good at that. But like I don't know, I just see a guy throwing a ball, to another guy, and like it's like catch. But I know that that's kind of what it is. It's like team bonding. It's getting people to. I don't even know that they're going through real plays. They're kind of just like run this, and they're just kind of getting to know each other. Especially like the rookies, they're just trying to get to know everyone and any player they might have added in free agency. But I think it's just to get them back in it's kind of like the first day of school. You don't do a lot of work. Yeah, I never did. I didn't do work in the middle of the school year.
I was say when I was a teacher, we did nothing that first week. It was just
you were a teacher?
Them to be quiet. Yeah, dude, I taught for like 8 years.
I didn't know. I think I don't know. I might have forgot. Usually when we talk, I'm buzzed up. So
yeah, I would say those PBR.
What did you teach,
dude? I taught fourth grade for 4 years, or third grade for 4 years, fourth grade for 4 years, and then I did a year abroad. I taught in China for a year.
That's awesome. I did third grade twice.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
So like, I don't know if that counts for something.
Did I flunk you? Was that me? I'm sorry.
Dude, you flunk a third grader, like, bro, what's going on? Like, I feel like that's more on you than me. I feel like that's more on the teacher than it is on me. Like, what do you gotta do in third grade? Like, did you spell your name? I don't know what you're doing in third grade. Maybe it was just my class.
Yeah.
But show you though, being a teacher.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Not anymore, but it was a good time while it lasted.
So what was it like teaching in China? Like, how did that come to be?
It happened. I graduated school, and then my wife now, she had a year left of college, and my best friend was going to China to teach, and I was just like, well, I might as well do that, hang out with him. She's gonna be in college anyway, so I dipped out and went with him for a year.
That's crazy. It is like, yeah, I'll go. It's like someone's like, hey, we're going to the bar. Want to come? Like, yep, we're going to China to teach some kids. Yep, let's go, bud.
Dude, that's one thing I tell. I told her too. My biggest regret is not doing it more than 1 year. It was fun over there, dude. Like you're biking everywhere. You can travel. Like we went to Thailand for a month during the Chinese. Like it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Complain. Yeah,
that is awesome. All right, so we got some more stuff over here. We got this is all ChatGPT. I don't even know if half the stuff is even real. But all right, so let's talk about this. All right.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. All right. They're talking about him possibly retiring, and people are like, will the Packers sign him for a 1-day contract and then he'll retire a Packer? I'm like, dude, that seems so obvious to me. How is that even a question? I don't know if it's engagement bait or what's going on. Like, why wouldn't they? Like, he's going to be in the Ring of Honor. He's going to come back for ceremonies. If he decides to retire, he played for the Jets for a couple of years, and actually in one he got hurt. And even if he played for them for 4 or 5 years, he got us a Super Bowl. He kept his whole thing going. He kept the Packers. I mean, not just him, but he's a big part of keeping the Packers relevant all those years. So much fun playoff games and watching them. Like, how is that even a question of him?
Yeah,
like signing a one. I don't even care if he does. I don't even know if that even matters. He signed a 1-day contract. When players retire, I don't think they retire. It's kind of, I think it's just something that they say. They retired as they signed a 1-day contract so they can go out like how they, the team that they played with. But I don't think that it really matters. No matter what, Aaron Rodgers is a Packer for life. I think it's silly to even talk about, will he retire a Packer? Like, he's a Packer. He's a Green Bay Packer. He's not a New York Jet forever. He's a New York Jet for a couple of years. That was a fun little experiment. Didn't work out. for anyone, I don't think. But Aaron Rodgers is a Packer for life. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, people say there's no such thing as a dumb question. I would say that's a dumb question of like, of course he's going to retire a Packer. Like, dude was with us for what was it, 16 season 7? I'm sure Iowa Joe put it in the chat. Thank you, Iowa Joe.
16 or 17.
Yeah, like whatever that range is, but like, dude, he is retiring a Packer. Like, he should be. His jersey's going to be retired. It's going to be in the Ring of Honor. Like, yes, 100%. Like, Rodgers, whatever the ups and downs were towards the end of the year. And like, for me, a lot of people care about the off-field stuff. I don't really care. Think what you want, do what you want. Not my business, not my problem. Live your life. Like, Rodgers was one of the best players to ever wear a Packers jersey, and 1000% should and will retire a Packer, because he went to the Jets, like you said, 2 seasons. One, he played 4 snaps. The other was not great. And he helped us out and got us a pick swap, some additional picks. We're all good, dude. Like, I'm still a fan of Aaron Rodgers, the player, the person too. I really don't care about the other stuff. Like, I'm a fan of him. So I'm happy he's, whenever he does retire, if it is this year, if he plays for the Steelers, like, I don't care if he plays for another team. Like, he still will retire a Packer.
Yeah, no matter what happens. He is forever a Packer. I want to get to this comment here because it's kind of funny to me. The Penguin said, always a great show, but what WTF? Too much Packers talk, but bias to Green Bay. Listen to your shows, but I stopped following because you are such a homer Packers fan, and Jimmy.
Shout out, dude.
I mean, that's what it is, baby. How did you not know I was a homer? I have homer merch.
I love there's too much Packers talk for a Packer podcast.
Yeah, it's a Packers podcast. That's like watching the Entourage podcast. First of all, I do listen to that Entourage. I've been watching that again. That's a great. But they'll be like, listen to that, but you guys talk about the show too much.
Sorry, I'm looking at it as the next one. Matt, I even unscribed to your madness because it's all Packers smash. Haha, yet you and Jimmy talked madness about Roger. We just complimented him, dude. I don't. You're on the good stuff, my man, and I appreciate it. Smoke what you smoke.
I appreciate you watching. I think you might have been having a few more Pabst Light than I have right now.
I like your name, though. I'm a big Penguins fan.
Yeah, and I know that person because they comment a lot. So shout out to you. You know what I mean? Appreciate it.
Yeah, Jimmy the Penguin. Maybe if you knew that was a nickname you gave me once.
Yeah, be a fan. He would like you more, but
yeah. I don't blame you.
But anyway, so let's keep her moving. I think we got a few. All right, so let me ask you about that because I don't like to talk about this stuff too much. Yeah. But you know, don't keep it moving on Rodgers, right?
Yeah,
people talk about like the stuff he says, like outside of football, whatever. And I'm not a guy who listens to podcasts of like players. Like I don't really. First of all, like a podcast, like when they do like Rogan, it's like 3 hours. Probably not going to happen. My attention span. I'm a Vine dude. I used to watch 6-second videos.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes. Like I'll drink beer and I'll watch like a podcast or whatever. But I usually don't do that long. But do you think like with all the stuff that has happened, with him going to the Jets and maybe the other stuff that some people don't like, do you think that tarnishes his legacy at all? Because I do not. I don't think that like what he did on the field, like is what he did. He won a Super Bowl, the MVPs. He's a lot of fun to watch for all these years. Like he's yelling, still own you to the Bears. I absolutely love all that stuff. Yeah. And I don't get wrapped up in all the other stuff. But do you think 20 years after he retires, anyone's going to care about any of that stuff? Unless he like goes off and like murders a bunch of campers and turns into next Jason or something. Yeah. Like I don't think that his I don't think anyone's legacy really gets messed up with like off the field stuff, unless it's something crazy, like illegal. You know what I mean? Like Hernandez type stuff.
Yeah.
His legacy
crazy
was
to think about. Yeah, we talk about Hernandez a little bit. With him, like, I don't know. I'm very much one of like, and it's not the popular opinion. I don't care if he has his opinions on things and he wants to do his deep dives on stuff and form his own opinions, whether educated, uneducated. I don't care. Like, it's not. That's like the thing is, everyone's gonna have their own beliefs. They're gonna look into stuff, whether I agree or not. I can separate that because even when you brought up Rogan. I'm a huge UFC fan. Obviously, I trained MMA for years. Like, I still listen to Rogan because he is a big UFC guy. So when he was on with Rodgers, I listened, but I can differentiate on like stuff that I'm like, oh, I don't agree with this. I'll still listen. I don't really care. Yeah. So it's just with him, I don't think in the long run it's going to tarnish it. People are going to be butthurt, especially which like whatever times are going on will kind of point to it, especially if he's a little too outspoken. But in the long run, nothing he's done's criminal. Nothing he's done has hurt anyone. He has his thoughts, agree or not. All-time great Packer. It is what it is. I don't give it.
It is what it is. I regret bringing it up. But,
but like you think about it too, like even not to make this another thing, but like Favre, I'm still going to cherish the memories I have of Favre. Like, yeah, what he did sucked and not great. And that side of him, not a fan of, but he also was a big part of my childhood, making me fall in love with football. So the football player Favre will always have those memories and be happy about. The other stuff I'll block out of my mind like a Men in Black little switch.
Yeah. It's like you just drink tequila every day. You just
exactly. Yeah, that's how it'll be.
All right, so let's go to a little happier topic over here. Well, first let's get to the Penguin. Let's see what he's talking about. I am a shareholder and been watching the Packer for over 20 years. There you go, bud. You know what I mean?
Shout out,
Pack, go. You know, we're all Packer fans. I think in this chat for sure. Sometimes some Viking fans stroll.
Oh, now you know he's trolling right now too. All-time great dude, Rodgers and Favre. Yeah, he's just trying to get brought on the screen.
And it's funny because people try to troll me, and I'm not saying that that's what this dude's doing, but like I don't care enough about stuff that to actually get like upset. Because people always like comment stuff. They're like, Rodgers was the most overrated quarterback ever. And they'll comment on it. So I'm like, okay, like I don't.
Yeah.
He's not my mom. Like, I'm not gonna like defend him like to the death. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree, but like I don't care. Anyways, but let's do this. I think this is a fun little thing. If they weren't NFL players, right? Because like I don't know. This seemed fun when I was going. Now that I say it out loud, it might not be as fun. But let me just rattle off a few names. If they weren't NFL players, what do you think that they'd be doing? All right, let's start. I mean, we'll make it fun. Don't make it garbage men because they're going to beat the hell out of you. Well, let's say Jordan Love. If he's not playing football, what do you think he'd be good at? What do you think Jordan Love does for a living?
Listen, if I'm Jordan Love, I'm a trophy husband to his wife and let her do her volleyball career, and you were just on the sideline clapping, and you were that trophy husband on the side. The American dream. Just doing that.
Be the manager or something.
The ball boy. Let him do that for the team. Oh man, that is a good one. I don't know. I feel like I think it is something. He seems. I don't know from the media stuff. He's a quiet person, but obviously that could 100% change in personal life. Let's give him just like maybe an IT guy. What if he's just behind the scene, quiet, make things run, no one really knows, like he did for Green Bay for like 3 years? Maybe that. I don't know. Maybe. What do you think?
About Jordan Love?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say someone else's name? No, I think that he seems like a smart, like calm guy. So I think I don't know about IT.
I don't know.
Maybe he's I don't know, head football coach for high school. I think you need to have calm people, but I've never met one. My sons played high school football, and all the coaches were crazy, so I don't know if that's it. But I think his wife is a successful, so he could be a manager. You know, like I was, watching Entourage.
Yeah,
managers, they're needed. But all right, so let
me ask you one.
Oh,
because I want your Tucker Kraft. What is he doing?
Tucker Kraft. All right, so if Tucker Kraft is not playing football, I could see him working construction. Cutting down trees, maybe he's doing something. Yeah, he's doing something that's involving drinking beer, vulgarity, like a regular dude. Like Tucker Kraft,
Marlboro Reds.
Yeah, I know Tucker Kraft, not really, but I know I know 10 of them. Right, not as athletic, successful. But like I know, dude. He seems like a dude that if no matter what happens at your house, if he's your friend. You got a plumbing issue, he's fixing it. Your roof's leaking, he's got you. Garage, door broke, he can fix that. I can't do none of that stuff. He seems like the kind of guy you have a case of Busch Light, he'll repaint your house. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he'd be that type of dude. I like. All right,
that. I need to ask Jonathan. You put you're not far from Minnie. When I read that, it might be the Pap Slice. I thought it said I'm not far from Jimmy, but I was gonna say if you're close to the area.
I'm outside right now.
Yeah, let's get a drink, dude.
No, he's like, I'm outside.
Well, come on in, dude.
No, he's there to watch blood flow.
Oh, God.
I don't know who it is. I'm just trying to make you feel
style.
nervous. Yeah,
All right. What about Romeo Dobbs? I feel like
Romeo
that's a tricky one.
Dobbs. I feel like he could be a teacher. The first thing that popped in my head. I don't know a lot about him, but he's very calm. I feel like he's like he's got that. I think you have to be calm to be a teacher. You can't be like Ray Lewis and be a teacher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, you can't stab people. That's for sure.
Well, I feel like Romeo Dobbs could be a teacher. He could be someone that is calm. Maybe I think they all could be football coaches, in higigh school, because they all. That's what I think. But like, yeah, they all could be.
Every one of them.
Yeah, because they all know the game. They could teach it. But I would say Romeo Dobbs teacher. What do you think?
I was gonna pick teacher's a really good one. I was gonna say an author for some reason. I feel like he could write a book. I'd read it. I don't know. He's a quiet dude, at least on camera. Yeah, no, I would teacher. I changed my answer. I follow you. I think teacher would be a good one.
Yeah. What about Rashawn Gary? That's the last one we'll do. We got Rashawn Gary. What do you think he would be if he wasn't a football player?
I feel like he has to be like a strength and conditioning coach.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, he's gonna be like some kind of trainer, personal trainer. Because like, I don't see him as a teacher.
No.
Because like the kid would be like, get an A+, first A+. You'd be like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Just scare the crap out.
See, I thought he'd do the other. Would be like, you can still do better. I want 110%, not 100%.
Yeah, I think most of them probably do anything that they want to do. You don't get to that level without being really good. All right, so some of these are really dumb. All right, so let me ask you this, because some of these are stupid, Jimmy, but we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna have fun, screw around tonight. All right, so and this is for the chat too. All right, so if you scored a touchdown at Lambeau, how would your leap go down? Would they trip? Would you backflip? Pull a hammy halfway up? Like, you're an athletic guy. Do you think you could do a Lambeau leap running full speed, touchdown? Now you're going to the stand. First of all, you got to find your spot, because you can't just run straight. There's camera people, there's refs, there's people in the way. You got to kind of wiggle through. Yeah. Do you think you could get up there?
So in college when we played football, we got to play in the Minnesota, because I played in Minnesota. We got to play in their stadium once. And of course, first thing I did was like, I got to try a Lambeau leap. A lot harder than I thought. I'm pulling an AJ Dillon, and I'm going to need players behind me to kind of hoist me up a little bit for sure. Maybe the adrenaline of actual in Lambeau Field will help me get up there, but I think I would definitely need some assistance. Maybe get an offensive lineman, little tush push up in there a little bit, but.
Yeah, you need like Rashawn Gary to just chuck you up there.
Yeah, be like, Rashawn, throw me.
No holding the foot. He just grabs you and chucks you to the third row. But I do want to show right here. Kevin said Rashawn Gary went to school for marketing and sales. All right, so he could be a marketer, and he's a smart guy. Like you could just tell like his social media. Like I know he's got people that help him or whatever, but he's got that marketing thing down. And he's calculated. He's super nice. Like when he's like not on the field. Like I've talked to him. He doesn't like scream at people in real life. That was a joke. But
he yelled at you during your quick trip thing. He's like, "Do better, Matt."
He's like, "What's going on?" No, he was super nice. But yeah, I couldn't get up. I couldn't get over the Lambeau leap. Like I was over there like in the sideline looking like there's no way. Even with a ladder, maybe with a trampoline, possibly, and I still doubt it. I'd have to have like a little footstep and then a bigger trampoline so I could really and have someone there double bouncing me up. Maybe I can get over the wall then. But
can I ask you, what are your opinions on because I was all for it. I thought it was one of the funniest celebrations, but the Randy Moss fake moon to the crowd rub on the goalpost. Obviously it sucks against us. I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Dude,
what's your thoughts on it?
Dude, I thought it was hilarious at the time, like when it happened.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew about like all the fans were mooning them, mooning the players before the game, whatnot. Yeah. But I didn't think. I thought it was, that's rivalry stuff, and the fake moon. And then remember, what's his face was all that's disgusting. Was it
Buck, dude? Right? Yeah.
No, it was Buck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like, that's disgusting. I thought it was funny right away. Like, dude. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I hated the Vikings back then. I've never skipped a year. So like I've hated them since forever. But I never really had hate for Randy Moss. Like he's one of those guys, like even like Justin Jefferson now. I don't hate Justin Jefferson. Like I wish he wasn't a Viking. He's like a pain. But like you got to respect talent. And Randy Moss was so fun to watch, unless he's playing the Packers. But even like his sideline stuff, I loved all that stuff. So yeah, that Moon and the fans, I thought it was great. And it's no different than Rodgers yelling "I own you" to the Bears fans. And actually, that's probably a little bit worse. I think I'd rather get fake mooned than have a team that beats the crap out of their quarterback chanting in the end zone, "I still own you." Like that hurt their soul. They were so like thinking of ways to like cancel them, and they're like, "That's bull, that's BS," like whatever. No, but I thought it was awesome. I like that. I like the rivalries. I like when players talk trash because fans always talk trash. I'm the fan, so like the players should be able to have some fun too. That's what otherwise rivalries are boring.
I know. That's what when players try to Lambeau leap, obviously not great, not my favorite thing, but I do like it because then you get our fans like pushing them back down. Like I do feel like it is a fun interaction. I don't think players except Joe Mixon get like mad about it, where it's like, if you're going to do a Lambeau leap in Lambeau, 1000% expect them to push you down.
They should.
Like it is what it is, dude.
They tried kicking dude out for that one. I had him on my podcast. And they tried to kick him out. And he like sneak kind of back in, and they let him stay. He kind of pled his case, and they let him stay. But like, you should. I mean, you can't like punch him in the face or nothing. But they're wearing helmets. It's gonna hurt you more anyways. But like to put your arm out and just like hold him, not let him jump in his hand. That should be an automatic. And if you don't do that, and you're in the front row. I feel like you should never be in the front row again.
Yeah,
stand your ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, dude, some of these are funny because like they say I asked ChatGPT about like questions and topics or whatever, and they gave me this list, and one of them is Matt's drunk predictions of the week. I might actually use that.
We did that last season. The drunk prediction.
During the season, we're definitely going to do that. All right, so I'm going to ask you. All right, so these are start, bench, cut, Packers edition.
All right.
Ready for this?
Yes.
All right. This is the fun stuff. Should have started with this. All right. So start, bench, cut. Beer at Lambeau. Quick Trip Glazers. And Vince Lombardi quotes, "Let Jimmy make the painful call." I don't know what that one means, but we can maybe add another one there. Beer at Lambeau, Quick Trip Glazers, or maybe a box suite. Maybe you get to stay up there.
All right, this one, I'm going to go first one, beer at Lambeau. It's just, you're at the stadium. You got to drink a little bit. Just enjoy it. I'm going to bench Quick Trip Glazers. And as much as I would love a suite, I would take it for any game but a Lambeau game. I want to be in the elements, whether it's hot or just cold, freezing. I feel like it's part of the Lambeau experience. You got to suffer through it sometimes. If you're a fan, you got to just deal with the cold. You're not feeling your toes, thinking you're dying of hypothermia sometimes. But that's why you have the beer. That's why I start the beer.
The beer is the beer is better than a coat. No, I agree with that. It's definitely beer because beer comes, tailgate. It's all part of it. Yeah, and it keeps you warm like in the winter, and the summer I just like it. But
next AA meeting, me and you be like, I just like it. I don't care.
Quick Trip Glazers, you know what I mean? I hate to bench him, but yeah, being up top though, because I'm saying like up top, I'll say the cut, but like that's really fun too. I remember being at a Bears game and I was up behind the glass. It wasn't a suite, but it was just like those seats behind the glass and the warmth or whatever. And it was cold that day. And at first, because you're like kind of out of the elements, you can't really hear the crowd. It's definitely different. But then like I turn around, they have like macaroni and cheese like right there waiting on you. You just turn around and get a bowl of macaroni and cheese and just eat it. And then it was cold, so like I was watching people and they're like freezing. Like you're right outside the window. You can see people outside and they're just like they're shivering, and I'm just like, eating macaroni and cheese. Like first down, baby. The beer is like right there. Bathrooms, not a huge line, so it's fun. But I wouldn't want to do it all the time. I wouldn't want to do it all the time. But if it's cold and I'm offered tickets, I'll roll up there. You'll see me up there. So let's see what Iowa Joe says. He said start Box suites, bench, Glazers, cut, beer at Lambeau. Iowa Joe's a different breed.
He just likes to do the opposite. He's a trendsetter.
Yeah. Either way, we know Glazers ain't getting cut. That's
Yeah,
all I know.
those bad boys were getting downed for sure.
We got Jonathan says, my first time in stadium, I was like, this beer is just not enough. Dude, when I was at that Niners playoff game,
Yeah.
I don't usually like to talk about that game, but dude, that game, like before the game, we had cups of beer or whatever, and the beer was freezing, like outside tailgating or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was cold. But when I got inside for the game, I'm in the row 2 playoff game. I was taking stuff off. I had no hand warmer. I took the hand warmers off. I was sweating because like when you're in the element, I mean, I wasn't like taking off everything. I wasn't like ripping my shirt off. I'm not one of those people.
You were rocking a crop top.
Dude, I've been in games. People are like, "Oh, we're gonna take our shirt off." I'm like, "Have at it, bud." I don't do that. Like, no, nobody. So much fun. Yeah, I don't have that type of confidence, dude. Nobody wants to see this thing. This is like that Peter Griffin type of gut I'm working with. So, like, I'm not. Is that what you do at games? Like, you ever strip down in a cold weather game?
I have. I rocked one of my crop tops at a game. Actually, I went with Todd Varney. We went to a game, and every time they score, clothes were off, crop top was out, celebrating a little bit, but it did not last long because I was. It
just
sounded like
you think you're on TV. Let's put it all together now.
I was trying to get them, get a Maxim deal or something, Playgirl, but it didn't work out.
All right, so we got a few more here. What's the most Wisconsin thing you've ever done? I think that's a good question right there.
See, I have a coworker who, whenever I say stuff to her, is always like, "That's the most Wisconsin thing I've ever heard." Sometimes I'll do a road trip, and if I gotta stop for the bathroom, like, why not stop at a bar and get a drink and then continue it? Not drunk, obviously, not going to promote drinking and driving, but
you just did.
Well,
someone call the cops.
Yeah, I don't know. Stop, get some cheese curds, a beer, go to the bathroom, and then you continue the road trip. I don't know. Maybe that's Wisconsin.
That just seems normal.
I think that's the thing to me.
I do that on my way to work.
Yeah, I got crap for it. I was like, that seems just like it's weird you don't do it. Honestly, it's your fault. I don't know. Maybe that. I guess that, like, stopping on road trips for a beer, cheese curds, a brat, burger. Honestly, a lot of the time. I
think for me, it's probably just my job. That I do. I work at a cheese factory.
Yeah.
Whenever I tell people like that's the most Wisconsin thing I've ever seen, I'm like, well, how do you think this stuff's getting made? Don't be stunned that it's cheese factory in Wisconsin. And it's not that glamorous. People are always like, oh, I'd love that. They're hiring, bro. So like, come on down. You know what I mean? All right. So a lot of these are. All right. So let me ask you this. Right? This one's kind of dumb too. But if Matt LaFleur walked into the stream right now, he just logged on, what would you say to him? Wrong answers only, it says, but you can give a right one if you want.
No, first thing I'm asking him is, tell the truth. Who's the player that tried to fight you when you released him from the team? That is the first thing I'm asking him. That's all I want to know. Was it Kingsley Keke? Was it Kylan Hill? Like Zadarius Smith? Who tried to fight you when you tried to cut him from the team? First thing I'm asking.
Dude, he was scared, right? Like kind of like what he said in that interview. Not scared, but he was definitely concerned.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it was Zadarius Smith? Can you imagine Zadarius Smith mad at you and yelling at you? Like, I'm not saying it was him because I don't want to, damage whatever, throw shade at him. But like, I couldn't imagine because Matt LaFleur is a regular sized dude. I mean, he's fit, he's skinny, but he's, obviously more than me. But he say who am I to talk? But I mean, he's a fit guy. But an NFL player yelling, especially like a linebacker, is a Darius Smith type dude. Dude, I'd crap my pants. But I think that's a good question.
Who do you think it was?
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of lean towards Darius Smith actually. Like when it first said, because he seemed very upset. Like there was some, the whole captain stuff.
Yeah,
I could see him on his way out. And when he left to Minnesota, he had a lot of things to say about them. I feel like he could have said some stuff. I don't know, like if he would be like that. I can't imagine any player because players
Yeah.
get cut, players get disciplined and talked to and whatnot. I don't think it's normal that they just start screaming at the coach. I don't know. I think Zadarius Smith, the one that people think about right away, just because the words he had after he left and he wasn't happy, so it makes you think that when they cut him, he might have had some stuff to say on his way out.
That's true. I go back. Well, Kylan Hill though, like I don't think he's
or Campbell. Yeah, someone said.
Yeah,
that'd
be another one. I don't.
Iowa Joe says Kylan Hill.
He should have left it as a mystery, because now we're putting this on so many different players. We're like, we could have just had one. We're like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
This is a good question right here, Matt. Do you color your eyebrows? I do not, but I should color.
I think he was talking about. I think that's his question. He would ask Matt LaFleur.
Oh, I thought you were asking me. I thought you were asking me because I got gray. I'm like, wait, is you're the same thing? That confused me. I have a few Pabst Lights in.
I don't think anyone's asking you if you color your eyebrows.
Why would you think Matt LaFleur colors his eyebrows?
Because they're perfect. They're impeccable.
I know, but he doesn't really have gray hair. Like I have gray hair popping out. But maybe my eyebrows are gray too. I don't know, man. Are they?
I don't think there's any
look at them. You know what I mean? Are they gray too? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna edit that out. I feel stupid.
No, you gotta leave that in.
No, I don't edit nothing, bro. I don't know how to edit. All right. So let's do a rapid fire. I didn't even read this one, so I'm just gonna do a rapid fire. This is all on you, Jimmy. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right. One word answers only.
Okay.
I don't know. We can stick to the rules or not. But Rodgers or Favre?
Favre.
All right. Game day beer or
Are we doing more fun? It's Favre. He's more fun.
Game day beer or game day brat?
Beer.
Yeah, you're an alcoholic. That makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
I was thinking that. I don't even, dude. You want to know a secret?
Yes.
I don't like brats that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
more of a hot dog. I don't not like them. I will eat it. I could get it down the old gully if need be. But if I have a choice, like burger, hot dog, brat, I'm doing burger or brat or hot dog first. I don't know. It's never, big meat in your mouth. You know what I mean? Sometimes. Anyways, I don't like. Anyway, go. Worst opposing fan base.
Right now, Lions.
All right, there you go. Best NFL uniform.
Currently, I like the Seahawks.
All right. Edit that out too.
I mean, Packers.
Yeah, bro, that's the answer.
I was thinking besides our team, I want to give a different one. Obviously, we're the best. I like the neon, the blue and the neon.
Dude, I don't understand this last question, but I'm gonna say it anyways
for it.
because. All right, it says, "What's your safe word when Packers Twitter gets weird?" That's ChatGPT. They know what Twitter is. Packers
Quesadilla.
Oh, that's such a weird question. I don't even know what it means, dude. I'll say it does drive me nuts when people go on Twitter and they'll be like, "This is a safe space," and then they'll ask some stupid question. RG3, I love RG3. Like as a social media person and as talking person on TV, I unfollowed him because he always said this is a safe place, Twitter. And then you ask him questions like, first of all, no, it's not. It's Twitter, bro. They're gonna kill you no matter what you say. But and it doesn't need to be. Who cares? If you don't like what people are saying, just mute the thing. Just ask the question. I don't know why. That's just like a pet peeve of mine. It's not bad. It just it got annoying. So
dude, Kevin totally called me out. Yeah, it was not rapid fire. I did not do good at that at all.
yeah, this isn't rapid fire as Jimmy is deep thinking. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't think we did it right.
Yeah,
we're gonna work on this, Kevin. We're gonna work on this, Kevin. We're gonna figure this rapid fire thing out because it's right in the word rapid. You know what I mean? You know what? You were a teacher. You probably had spelling bees, taught kids how to spell the word rapid.
I'm a little slow right now. All right, I had a few Pabst Lights.
CJ says Ravens for the Ravens do have a cool jersey. Yeah, I do like the Ravens uniform, the helmet, the whole thing.
Picked that one. Damn it, CJ.
You should have picked the Packers. You could have picked.
I assumed Packers. When I interpret that question, it was besides the Packers, best one.
Yeah. See, Iowa Joe knows what's up. Green and gold, baby. There's a reason why they have never changed those colors. You know what I mean? So, like,
All right,
that's it
rapid
for my
fire
list.
two right now.
What? Oh, you want to do a rapid fire for me?
Current roster, Packer you want to have a beer with.
Kenny Clark.
Oh, damn it. You're way quicker than I thought.
Yeah, I know it's rapid fire. You're supposed to say it right away. You're not supposed to think about it. I love Kenny Clark. He's been on my podcast. So I was like, that's the first name that comes out. He's
best light beer.
Pabst Light right now, baby.
Smart. Game day stadium food.
Pizza. The quick trip pizza.
With this.
No, it is good though. It is good. I don't eat a lot at Lambeau. My mission is to drink, but like the hot dogs too. Who doesn't love like a foot long in their mouth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a way to put it. For sure.
It's one way. What else you got?
It kind of threw me off a little bit. Non-Packer best jersey.
Non-Packer, I just said the Ravens, so I'll stick with that. I was gonna switch it, but like I think Ravens, I just like it, the black and like it sticks out. It kind of like it pops, and I don't hate the Ravens because even if there was an NFC North team, I like their jersey. I wouldn't tell anyone.
That's fair.
I mean, I think like everyone in North. I mean, Chicago is kind of historic, but like the Lions is boring. It's kind of like every like the Patriots. I think they're all boring. Oh, I think a lot of the new ones are boring. Yeah. Like Patriots, like old school, way better than what they're rocking. Like just like the Oilers, the Titans. They should just switch back to the Oilers.
Slick. Those are slick.
Those throwback Oilers uniforms.
The Dolphins orange ones I always liked.
Yeah. I don't like orange.
Well, loser.
The Bears are orange.
Well, not that orange. That orange sucks.
Oh, the
Dolphin orange, that's nice. Stadium you want to go to besides Lambeau?
I'm going to the Giant Stadium next year, but stadium I'd want to go to, dude.
Kevin, call him out. Kevin, put in there right now. Deep thinking.
Oh yeah,
I've been waiting for this moment.
I'll say because I don't want to say it. That's why I had it in my head right away. But I would say the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Packers won a Super Bowl there. They had the big TV. My wife was there, so she kind of told me like she went to the Super Bowl. So she told me like it's a great stadium. And I think that'd be cool.
I think I'm going there this year. The company I work for is based out of Dallas, so there's a lot of people. We were saying even before the schedule was released of like we should do a company because we have a few Packer fans. I'm the only Wisconsin, or there's a couple Wisconsin people, but because we're the best team, there's a lot of us
Packer
fans
are worldwide.
Yeah, so we might do a Cowboy versus Packer game down there, which will be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'm going to that Giants game. And it's funny because like I talked about that. I'm like, hey, I'd never been really out of Wisconsin besides like Michigan, Minnesota a little bit, for dumb stuff. But people were like, yeah, don't get robbed. I'm like, bro. And then I was like, I'd never been on an airplane before. Like, yeah, I hope it doesn't crash. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
do they think you're Al Qaeda? Like, what are they?
Well, people like if someone told me like, hey, I never been on an airplane before, but I'm gonna go, I'll be like, yeah, you'll be all right, even though I never been on one.
Yeah, not your.
I wouldn't be like, yeah, good luck, bud. Good luck. Chances are the engine's gonna blow up and you're gonna die with some lady next to you never met before.
Good luck taking off, idiot.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm actually really excited because we're gonna stay in New York for a couple of days. Me and my buddy Kevin, he's sending me TikToks of like every place in New York that's ever been.
Yeah,
I'm excited to go visit. And he's like, "What do you know about Central Park?" I was like, I know that Law and Order starts in there a lot of times. That's what I know about Central Park. Like every Law and Order episode I ever saw, they're walking through Central Park and some lady's leg is hanging out of a bush. So,
I know Olivia Benson is there a lot.
Yeah, Olivia Benson has her own little police headquarters right in the middle of it. No, I'm excited to like see all that. What I want to see is Times Square. I think Times Square is seems cool. I mentioned at work, someone's like, you're gonna get killed in Times Square. I'm like, dude, there's a video of my buddy Kevin and his daughter in Times Square like midnight doing that little camera thing that spins in a circle.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, if you can go out there with your daughter at midnight, you're gonna be all right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People who don't live there, I think it's a lot worse because all the movies.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They really had me thinking, like when I was 13, like you can't even go to New York. You're gonna get robbed because in real life, turtles don't pop out of the sewer and help you.
Be honest, you thought I'm gonna go to New York and crawl into the sewer, and I'm gonna find these guys.
Dude, I'm gonna find. I want to see the rat because he's like the real leader. I like leaders.
Rapid fire. Favorite Ninja Turtle?
Leo.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm not gonna lie.
Although Raphael, I like him.
That's my backpack.
Oh, there you go. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja. Yeah. I can't say it right now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like, it doesn't matter. Like the movies that they make now are trash. Like the 90s Turtles movie was the one.
Yeah.
They're ordering pizzas to the sewer. I like Raphael, but I feel like he's got like.
I was gonna say Raphael is my favorite.
I think he missed a few hugs as a child, though. I think he's got like some issues going on.
They bullied him hard. There's a new video game coming out. I think it's called like Ronin or something, where like all the Ninja Turtle dies. All of them die. You only have one. You don't know which one it is until the end, where it comes out which one survived. But all the other ones die. Pretty depressing.
Yeah, that's a nice video game. Yeah. Is that for kids?
Maybe.
It's like playing SpongeBob that gets hit by like a boat.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are gonna play Patrick, but all the other SpongeBob characters are dead.
Yeah, SpongeBob gets caught by a freaking hook and gets dragged to a boat and dissected. But,
all right, my last rapid fire for you. One NFL player, non-Packer, that you want to see live.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you have a chance this year.
Yeah, dude, Lamar Jackson. He's fun to watch. He's my favorite non-Packer that never played for the Packers. Like I root for Lamar Jackson. He's on my fantasy team too, but that's not why. I think that's why he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
What about historically? If you could have gone back and watched one player live,
I don't know. The first thing that popped in my head is Peyton Manning. Because he was always switching stuff up. But I don't know. I think Michael Vick, maybe. Yeah. No. I would say Barry Sanders, without a doubt. Yeah. Barry Sanders, he was so fun to watch when he wasn't playing the Packers. Yeah. Like, he would just it was like watching like if you had Josh Jacobs like in a youth camp, but he tried really hard. First of all, shout out to Josh Jacobs. He's doing a youth camp in Green Bay at Titletown. So if you got some kids, check out my social media. I put the link there. You can register your kids if you're in the Green Bay area. It's on June 27th. I think it's cool when players do it in Green Bay. Anyways,
I'll say mine. This is a little Ram. You can't see it because of the light, but I got a Rams picture. I was a huge fan of Marshall Faulk. I got a bunch of pictures. That'd be one player in his prime to see live. Marshall Faulk was first besides the Packer players. Marshall Faulk is all-time favorite NFL player. I'd love to see him live. I would have loved to see him play live. But nowadays, I'm with you. Lamar Jackson would be super fun.
Yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes would be fun too, but people are over the Chiefs.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, like they have nobody wants him to ever win a game again. I'm not a Chiefs hater. I actually like Patrick Mahomes. I think he seems like a nice guy. But when you win too much, they start rooting for the Eagles even. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Just to beat you.
It's a Brady effect. I hated Brady for the longest time. Then he retired. I was like, Tom Brady's not that bad. Dude, once he was playing, I was like, I hate this guy with a passion.
Tom Brady seems super cool. It's funny because I'm watching Entourage right now. I don't know if people know, but it's about like a famous actor. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio type of guy. Yeah. It's actually made by Mark Wahlberg. But anyways, like these guys are playing golf, and one of them's they're all from New York. But this dude in the show named Turtle, he's a hardcore Giants fan, and they meet Brady on the golf course, and everyone's like kissing his, like, oh, hello, Mr. Brady, and they're all like excited, and he's like giving the cold shoulder. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you being mean to Brady? He's like, because I'm a Giants fan, ride or die. I ain't kissing the ring. Screw him and this and that. But then he starts talking to him, and he's like, hey, you and your wife should come, or you and your girlfriend should come up to the house. Giselle will cook. And then he's like, oh, really? And he starts kissing. It's such a funny scene. But I think Brady's awesome. Like you'd like listen to my podcast and like speaking. He seems super cool.
Oh yeah.
But when he was playing, Pete, you're kind of sick of seeing.
Yeah.
If it's not your team winning all the time, you don't want to see teams win all the time.
No. The best thing is they give the NBA crap right now about not having a dynasty because it's been since 2020. I think like a different team every year. I like that though. Like throw in the different teams all the time. It's fun because it shows. Brady and even Mahomes now has changed our minds about how easy it is to win a Super Bowl. Like Brady winning 7, Mahomes already at 3. Like it's not as easy as these guys somehow make it seem. You have to get extremely lucky and have the top quarterback in the NFL paired with the top coach in the NFL to even have a chance. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like Brady for sure, like kind of changed that because everyone thinks like, oh, they can do it. Anyone can just win a Super Bowl every single year. Like winning a Super Bowl is hard. Like even like I made last night or yesterday I did a stream and I said I think the Packers are gonna win a Super Bowl. And
yeah,
some people didn't agree with that. That was a stupid thing to say. But I get it because, like, to predict a team, even the Eagles, they won a Super Bowl. To predict that they're going to win a Super Bowl again, it's so hard to win a Super Bowl. Especially 2 times in a row. But I feel like the Packers, Jordan Love, it's his 3rd year starting this season. Rodgers' 3rd year starting. He won a Super Bowl. Started in 2008, played 2009, 2010 season. They won a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, I don't know how many years it was. I think it was actually like the first one, but he sat a little bit. But that's usually how it goes. Like you get your new starting quarterback. But doesn't matter if you have a veteran like a legend before him. You're building a team around him. You're trying to get this offense formed around him. Like the Bills kind of did the same thing with Josh Allen. They didn't get the Super Bowl, but they were close. Like I feel like they should have.
Yeah.
They just I don't know. They kind of screwed that thing up. But I feel like that's the formula. You got your quarterback, build around him, try to get a Super Bowl. And I feel like the 3rd year is it is a good time. So I feel like why not? The Packers are going to win a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah. And I feel like they have a good team. I think it's tough. They have a tough schedule. They're in a tough division. They're in a tough conference. Like they have. It's not going to be easy. They're not going to. But I feel like just get into the playoffs, get into position, and see what happens. I mean that's every year. But like a lot of times a team who won the Super Bowl, even 2010, they weren't picked to win the Super Bowl forever in the whole year. They got hot. Then they were picked. They beat Atlanta. They were like, oh, okay, this team's for real. But like, there's Giants team that won a Super Bowl they weren't supposed to. Like, a lot of teams win a Super Bowl. It's not always the Chiefs, Patriots type teams. Sometimes like even last year the Eagles. I'm not sure a lot. I mean, the Eagles were on a hot streak. So a lot of people predicted them, but I don't think anyone thought the Eagles were going to do what they did in that Super Bowl because the Chiefs were, the mighty Chiefs. Even though they weren't the mighty Chiefs, they got to the Super Bowl. They kind of feel like they weren't as hot, but the Eagles were hot. But even then, I think people were not picking them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I forgot what I was saying.
Who knows?
Yeah. No one's watching or listening anymore anyway, so we got all right. I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. But oh yeah, Chuck Cecil would have been fun to watch play. Dude, but imagine going back and being able to see Lombardi's teams.
Yeah.
Like if you can have a time machine and go back to let me ask you have a time machine to go back to any game in NFL history, what game are you picking?
All right, this is a cheesy one for sure. Because it is a game I remember. But one of my biggest regrets is, like as a high school kid, you're all about your friends and want to hang out with them. I wish right now if I could go back, if I could go back to the last Super Bowl 2010. And instead of going to a friend's house, like watching it with my dad and like having that Super Bowl win with him, I would do that one and just go back and reverse instead of hanging out with friends, hang out with the family, and I'll watch the Packers Super Bowl. Because as much as we think it's going to be this year or next year, you don't really know. So I wish I wouldn't have been a dumb high schooler and watch it with family instead.
Yep, that's actually a good answer. My wife said that because she went to the Super Bowl 45. And she told me, she's like, I wish I would have stayed here and watched it with you. I was like, really? She's like, no. Get out
She's like, no, you suck.
Absolutely not. I was at the Super Bowl. You guys are watching it. In a freaking house with kids are running around. Sounds horrible. But for me, to go back to I would say the Ice Bowl because that seemed like the logical one. But like, that's too cold. I don't think I'd want to go back.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had multiple options, I had a time machine like forever, then I would. I'd get there, but I think I think maybe Super Bowl 31. I think that would have been a fun one because I remember like I was a kid, I was a teenager, and I was kind of the same thing. I was hanging out with my friends. We were boozing it up, you know what I mean? We were all over age, but I think that'd have been good to go back to like actually be there and like watch that because I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I should have. Because I was a young kid, I was stupid. The Packers didn't do it like for 30 years of missing the playoffs and all that, to actually like to watch that and like know what's going on. Because I was a teenager, like I said, we were screwing around, we were watching it, but we didn't even know what it was. I mean, we knew enough because like after the game, we were in Green Bay, so like we went on the streets, everyone's outside climbing telephone poles, people were driving down Main Street honking, there was like chaos. I mean, nothing crazy, and wasn't like people ripping down houses or nothing, but people were like out there partying, so everyone knew what it was. I mean, we were young, but we still understood that it's been forever, and but we didn't need a reason to party back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that'd have been a game I'd like to go back to and actually just appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
And so we got CJ says Nick Collins running it back was made. Yeah, Super Bowl 45, like that play right there. If you could go back to one play, I think that'd be a really good play. Like, cause that like oh, this is like for real.
Tone
like
setter,
this,
dude.
Yeah, like this is gonna happen. Like, yeah, that was beautiful. And then how he like the whole zigzagging down the field, that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, I appreciate everyone who's tuning in live. Jonathan, CJ, I think a lot of people left. Kevin, the people who were here earlier, Iowa Joe, shout out to you. Megan Hiller, big shout out to you. I almost read that last name wrong. I ain't gonna lie to you. But shout out to Megan. I always see her in my comments and whatnot. So I appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed to the Matt Ramage Show on Spotify, Apple, all the places that you listen to podcasts, go ahead and do that. And subscribe on YouTube if you're not, dude. I'm at like 3,000 subscribers. Like, let me get 5. Tom Grossi has like every subscriber. Just let me get let me get to 5,000. You know what I mean? Just let me get to 5,000 people. So go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and all the places. If you go to thematramage.com, you can find all the places that you can follow me and whatnot. And we're gonna do a lot more of these. Jimmy, are you gonna come back next week? Or you got stuff going on?
Yeah, no, I'll be back next week for sure. I don't got anything.
Yeah. Maybe some news will happen, but otherwise we'll think of some corny stuff to talk about like we did tonight.
All right,
and, I think it's more fun that way.
Oh yeah, it's the off season, dude. Like you're supposed to talk about nonsense.
Oh yeah, there's like not a lot
figured out.
Yeah, if you want to hear about the OTAs, check out Pack a Day podcast. They got a lot of smart folks over there. They're gonna
not my episodes.
Yeah, you're on twice a week now, right?
Yeah, Fridays and Sundays. I record
Fridays
Thursdays,
and Sundays.
Yeah.
So like Andy just wants weekends off or what?
Yeah, he's like, hey, who's the dumbest person we can put in? Jimmy.
That's
I got you, dude.
That's like when a job is hiring, you see like now hiring weekends and nights. Like, yeah, that sounds tempting. All the time, nobody else wants to work. Expectations are at their lowest, though. That's what you have to remember, Jimmy. Even if you suck, they'll leave you on. I mean, they obviously are, but
yes, yeah. Somehow I got dirt on Andy. He can never let me go.
No, they do a great job over there. So be sure to check out the Pack a Day podcast if you're not already. Like, I don't think anyone's listening to this podcast and like, no, that one we're not gonna listen to that one.
That one blows.
We're just gonna stick with. Hey, I get tagged on Twitter. I'm a top 50 Packers podcast.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's actually a ranking or someone's opinion or if what it is. I don't look at the podcast like how many people listen. Because when I do, I'm like, you know what I mean? My mom's not even listening. But but that's cool. I'm on top 50, whether it's someone's opinion or what it is. But we have fun. But anyways, check out Pack a Day podcast, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. Jimmy, any final words?
I don't have any, dude. It's just shout out to art shows of 6-year-olds, I guess.
Yeah. So you can't say ain't got nothing, then say something.
Yeah, that's on me. I have something. Shout out art shows.
No, we're gonna and we're gonna get you a tattoo. Tell the wife.
Yeah.
And we're gonna pick.
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna pick. You're gonna let me pick because I'll pick a drawing. Big old back tattoo. Your back's not clear though, is it? You got a bunch of stuff.
I have one on my back, so it's pretty clear. -1. I have a game on one actually. I got with Jacob Westendorf.
All right, you guys getting that laser to get that thing off? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll cover that. I'll cover that up. I censored myself. I'll cover that up.
No, I was thinking about that. Like thinking about like not before that, but like when you said that, I would never get like my logo like tattooed on me.
It was one of those things where he said we get I think it was like 1,000 followers in less than a week, and then the game on did, and I was like, I should not have said that. And my wife was mad. Des was mad because I did not.
Is it big?
It's not big. No, it's just on my shoulder. And then she was like, that's dumb. I was like, yeah, it is for sure. You're right in this argument. I have nothing to say. So,
hey, but tattoos are personal. You tell that's personal.
And going back to it, like that's where the start was, getting players on and all that. So there's stories to tell with it. But
yeah, who sees that anyway?
Also, I have a butt tattoo of an inhaler. So
you have a butt tattoo of an inhaler?
Yeah, it says "Ain't easy being wheezy" because I'm asthmatic. So
and you decided to put that in the old cheek?
Yeah, I got it in China. My best friend was like, "Hey, if I pay for a tattoo and pick it, will you get the tattoo?" I was like, "Yes, put it on my butt. That's fine." And I got a butt tattoo.
So what's that like in a butt tattoo? You just cheeks just out there?
It was very uncomfortable, especially like I'm in a country where they do not speak English. So I was just like, dude, I'm so sorry. And they're
probably just like saying, this guy, look at this idiot.
Yeah.
Idiot American.
Dude, for real. They're like, look at this thick bone bastard trying to get a butt tattoo. I was like, I'm sorry. Man.
That's the thing about me. If I get a butt tattoo, that thing's going to stretch out because I'm getting bigger by the day. But you got a lot of canvas to work with back there, bud. All right. We are out of here. Thanks, Jimmy. And thanks everyone watching, listening. And now we have a cool outro song. Check it out.
Oh, we're doing something.
Welcome to the Ramage Show.